What are the top 8 handbags that are still worth investing in right now? Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review where I review all things for the love of. Today I am checking out the top 8 handbags that are still worth buying right now. Now before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for considering, and on with the video. So initially when I started out with this video, I was thinking I want to come out with my top 10 list, but I had a really hard time and I want to stay true to the topic that I want to make sure each of these handbags are worth buying right now, one that you will wear and cherish for many years to come. I know some people think of handbags as potentially investments, but I don't think all designer handbags are good investments. At the same time, some of these handbags can cost the same as a month's rent or more, so I think it's really important to do good research before you spend the money on buying a handbag. And with multiple price increases happening year in, year out, now is as good a time as any to jump on and just go for the handbag that you're in love with, because you know that with the next price increase a few years from now, it's just going to be going up and up and up in price, and at that time you might not as be willing to bite the bullet on some of these classic handbags that are worth investing. For these handbags that I'm looking at on this top 8 list, I'm looking for ones that are certainly not in large supply, but definitely in high demand. And more importantly, to me especially, I think it's important is how I use these handbags and fit them into my lifestyle and personal style. So without further ado, let's look at the top 8 handbags that I would recommend purchasing right now that are still worth the money. Number 1 is the YSL Lulu. Saint Laurent has come out with a number of handbags, even though that their fashion brand carries a number of different accessories and ready-to-wear clothes. I think their handbags are actually really good quality for what you get. And out of all the designs, I think the YSL Lulu is one of the ones that has captured the attentions of many handbag lovers all over the world. It has a beautiful quilted leather and just such a classic silhouette. Currently, the small size is priced at $3,565. One of the great things I love about this handbag is that with the timeless appeal and a chain that easily interchanges between shoulder and crossbody, it is just such a versatile handbag. And it's so practical to go with a lot of different outfits, and it's just big enough to fit your phone, your keys, your wallet, and all your essentials. It is definitely a designer staple, a big fan favorite, and maybe one of the more affordable handbags on this list that I'm showing you today. But I think it has really strong investment potential and does come in multiple sizes for you to consider. If you think that the small might be too big, there's also the toy Lulu available. But I think it's a very practical purchase, and it will never go out of date. So that is number 8. Number 7. Number 7 is from Chanel, and in particular, it is the Chanel Classic Walk. This is the only wallet on chain that I have on my list of these top 8 handbags. I know that a wallet is not necessarily a handbag, but nowadays I think we're carrying less and less, and I feel like if you are a minimalist and carrying less, and if you have to choose a small bag or a wallet on chain, I think Chanel is your best bet. It does have some compartments built in and just enough room for you to carry all your essentials, and has the classic Chanel quilted leather on the front and also the leather that is intertwined between the straps. I think it's a beautiful classic priced at $3,350, and you know this is an investment piece that will last for years to come. And you for sure know that it will have good resale value should your passion phase for this handbag in the future. The price is never going to get lower than this. Number 6 is also from Chanel. It is the mini flap bag from Chanel, currently priced at $6,000 $200. I think this is a beautiful, fantastic classic, and you would never want to get rid of it. It's a great heirloom piece to pass down as well. Originally designed in 1955 by Gabrielle Chanel, the classic mini flap bag has been like all the rage. The first mini flap bag was released in 2010 and it instantly became a top seller. And it just practically just flies off the shelf when you see it pre-loved as well. The great thing about the mini flap is it doesn't have the double flap, so it's not as heavy. But it has such a classic design and like a timeless appeal that you for sure will know that it will sustain its resale value, if not more, in the pre-love market. So that is the mini flap. Such a beautiful, instantly recognizable classic that looks beautifully elegant and seems perfectly ageless. So that is my number 6. Number 5 is also from Chanel. It's the 2.55 handbag, the flap bag. This one's priced at $12,800. This is of aged calfskin and gold tone leather. They have various versions of this. But I think if you're looking for a more understated Chanel bag, something without the double CCs in the front, I think this is a great addition. This is the 2.55 reissue, just to clarify, because in 2005, Karl Lagerfeld remade the 2.55 exactly as Coco Chanel made it in 1955. This 2.55 flap does collapse nicely for travel as well. It's a classic rectangular shape that was created back in 1955, and this handbag has withstood the test of time, continuing to be relevant to this day since 1955. Black leather is just such a great classic choice. They also have seasonal colors and also in tweed and different material. If you browse through the pre-love website or even on the website itself, if you're able to get a hold of one, they definitely are hard to come by. It is one of the most iconic designer bags I think ever, and I think will continue to have good resale value for the future. It is a dream bag for many handbag lovers, and definitely consider investing in right now. Here you can see on the website they have like other versions of it with different color hardware. But such a beautiful, relevant classic. And that is number 5. Number 4. Number 4 is from Louis Vuitton. It is the Neverfull. Now, this was a little bit of a surprise for me because initially I didn't think the Neverfull would have made it to my list. This is the Neverfull MM and $2,580 right now. This handbag has gone up in price by so much over the last few years. And it's not a particularly old handbag within Louis Vuitton either. The Louis Vuitton Neverfull was originally a seasonal beach bag that came out in 2007. Back in 2007, at the time when it was released, the Neverfull was only $645, and now is well over $2,000 for a Neverfull Louis Vuitton. It has become one of the classic handbags that everyone's trying to get a hold of, and as of 2023, it's now become a handbag that you have to waitlist for at Louis Vuitton. It is a very iconic tote, very user-friendly, super practical. Can use for work, a mommy bag, just like a great investment piece if you're considering something from Louis Vuitton. The great thing about the Neverfull is that it also comes with an accessory pouch that is detachable that you can just grab and go, and it's great for going out for lunches if you don't want to grab the large tote bag with you. So that's number 4. Now number 3. It's also from Louis Vuitton. It is the Speedy. Now there are a number of Speedies from Louis Vuitton. There is the Nano Speedy that's currently priced at $2,410, and currently with the mini bag trend, some of the smaller Speedies are definitely a little bit harder to get a hold of and a little bit more popular. For example, the Speedy Bandolier 20 is currently priced at $2,810, and definitely one of the ones on my wish list to consider because I think it's a perfect size handbag for everyday use, has the option for a top handle and also a crossbody. And Speedy speaks so much to Louis Vuitton heritage that I think is one of the classics of classics within Louis Vuitton. It was originally created for travelers in 1930s. I think it is one of the best Louis Vuitton handbags that they have on their collection. It still remains highly sought after all these years. It's such a timeless design from this French fashion house. I feel like it looks really elegant, but you can also like change up the strap and make it look very sporty at the same time. But at this point, I think the Speedy has gone up quite a bit in price. This one's $2,810 for the Bandolier 20. But it is a classic of classics to consider if you're thinking of investing in a handbag right now. Number two is from Hermes. I'm looking at the Kelly, and it's almost impossible not to even consider the Kelly as part of this top 8 list of handbags that are worth investing in right now. It was first created and designed back in 1930s by Robert Dumas for the son-in-law of fashion house former president. I mean, the Kelly was notoriously worn by Hollywood legend Grace Kelly. It looks so effortless, beautiful, and very elegant. It's just very simple in its design. That's why it will not date and become ageless and still be relevant for years to come. Unfortunately, the Hermes Kelly is hard to get a hold of, and you do have to build a rapport with your SA and kind of go on your Hermes journey before you get a hold of an Hermes Kelly. So not everyone will be approved to even get on the wait list if you want a Hermes Kelly bag. And the cost of an Hermes Kelly, will retain its value and will probably cost even more when you purchase it pre-love. So if you are able to get a hold of it in the boutique, that's fantastic, right? So here I'm just going to show you a couple of Hermes Kellys that are available on pre-love market, including this one here, Hermes Kelly in the Epson 25. It is $28,540 USD. There's also this one here from the Real. You can see they range between $9,500 all the way to around $22,000 or even $30,000 for this Togo one. This one, Hermes Kelly 32, is priced at $120,000. This one's actually made from exotic leather, so depending on type of material it's made from, can cost a pretty penny. Now, what is the number one on my list? I think it will be no surprise for those of you who are handbag lovers, and that is the Hermes Birkin. It is the unicorn of all handbag lovers' dream of getting a Hermes Birkin. It is like symbolic for Hermes. It is one of the handbags that's been around for decades. It was originally carried by British actress Jane Birkin, sitting next to executive chairman of Hermes, when she was complaining about not finding a suitable bag that kind of meets her needs as a young mother. And this instantly recognizable rectangular shape, just a very simple design, has stolen the hearts of handbag lovers everywhere. Of course, this handbag is definitely on the harder side to get a hold of, not to mention the price tag is not light on this particular handbag as well. Giving you a closer look at the Hermes Birkin on the secondhand market, this one here is the Birkin 30 in Togo, is $30,000. You can see it's a very ageless, simple design. There's also this one here in Himalayan Birkin 30 that is $195,000. Wow. And then there's various ones on the Real ranging between $22,000 up to $34,000. This one here, as you can see, is $130,000. Has diamond crocodile Birkin 30. And then there's also the Birkin 25 in gold Togo. That's $40,000 Canadian. So hopefully you found this top 8 list of the handbags that are still worth buying. helpful. I must say, out of these handbags, some of them are more attainable than others. So for example, looking back, the YSL Lulu is something that like you can still purchase in store, whereas if you look at the ones on the top of the list, like the Birkins, they're definitely ones that you have to spend a certain amount of money to get the privilege of getting on the wait list. And I don't know if all of us are on that pathway towards the Hermes journey of getting Hermes Kelly or Birkin. With all that said, what do you think about my top 8 handbags to consider purchasing right now that are still worth it? Do you agree with this top 8 list? Are there other handbags you would recommend to make it onto this list? For me, I am still divided whether I want to splurge on any new designer handbags without really looking at what handbags that I have in my collection. I want to make sure that each handbag that I purchase has a specific purpose that it serves. I don't look at all my handbags as investments. At the end of the day, what's most important to me is how will I use this and how does this fit my lifestyle and personal style. Doesn't really matter how much objectively how classic and beautiful it is to other people. If I don't reach for it, it's kind of a waste of money. So I think while this list is helpful to consider guiding on what handbag investment to make next, I think the most important thing is to go back to, does this handbag make your heart sing? With brand and quality reputations aside, we know that certain ones like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, those are maybe handbags that are maybe better quality, but we've seen the quality waver over the last few years. But at least some of them will stand by their product and replace some of the defects if it doesn't kind of meet to a standard. But at the end of the day, I hope that you just take this list with a grain of salt and remember to look back and consider each of your handbag purchases and see, does it make your heart sing? Well, that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me on this mommy review, and I'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.